everyone, how you doing today? My name is Kirsty, aka KBeth Bookish, and on today's video I'm sharing with you some where the heck did I come up with Halloween in February? Starting strong. And on today's video I'm sharing with you some of the Valentine spirit by sharing my Valentines, aka the channels and people that I absolutely love and adore and feel everybody else should subscribe to. So here we go with my Valentine spotlight. I can't really not start with my actual Valentine. That would be a bit mean. So obviously the very first person that I'm going to be talking to you about is Ren from The Reading Ren. Not only are they my actual Valentine, they are my partner, we are dating, and honestly, I don't think I've ever been more in love. But they are also an amazing human being here on BookTube. They are just one of those people that they are just a safe space and a walking green flag, and they're so cute and just I could gush for hours about how incredible this person is, but things that I feel you may enjoy from their content and the reasons why I say that you should follow them, other than the fact that I'm in love with them and would obviously go to the ends of the earth for them. But some of the other reasons why you may enjoy, they specialise in queer recommendations, so if that is the sort of thing that you're looking for, then check that out. They also have a game that they play based off of Stargate Atlantis, I want to say. If I'm wrong, please yell at me in the comments, Ren. They're just all around a really lovely person who I can't recommend enough, and just you need to check them out, and I just adore them, and yeah. They're my heart, they're my love. Moving on to some of my friends. If you don't consider me friends, that's fine, just don't tell me. But these are people that I personally consider to be friends of mine and who I feel have a really good range of content. I'm going to kickstart this with Chelsea from ChelseaZhao. We've known each other now for nearly 4 years, I'd like to say, and we both have quite similar, it's really funny, we have similar reading interests, but I rarely see us reading the same books. And I am constantly getting so many recommendations from her, which is awesome. We've become friends, and last year 2 years ago, we did a buddy read of The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which and we had a really interesting conversation around the differences between me here in the UK and her over in America with gun laws and what it's like to live around guns and things like that. Reasons why I feel you should follow her channel. She has a game called TBR To Be Rolled. It's the most adorable game ever because her son Presley gets involved and he reads out the colours and he picks out books, and he's just, if you like bookish content and you think kids are cute, it's the perfect mix. He's just so adorable and so stinking cute. She reads a lot more indie and self-published than I do, and I've picked up quite a lot of recommendations from her. She just has a really bubbly, lovely personality and is a really fun person to watch, so I definitely recommend Chelsea. Next up we have Shah from Thoroughly Enjoyed Books. Honestly, Shah, I consider her one of my closest and best friends. Yeah, we barely talk to each other, but when we do, it's like we've only just seen each other yesterday, and I know she has always got my back and she knows I've always got her back. She's just helped me so much over the past year as a friend and a support network, and yeah, honestly, I think we've also now known each other for 3 years and it's been so lovely getting to know her. She is a very different reader to me, where I read mostly fantasy and romance. She reads a lot of lit fic, she reads a lot of poetry and those kind of, I'm not sure if she's a classics reader per se, but she reads what I consider to be the more intellectual than my brain capacity books. So she reads the ones that are really thought-provoking and tend to have a lot of deeper themes, maybe are more themed around real life and what's been going on, whereas I read stuff that's more light-hearted because I tend to want to just not really think about the crap going on in the world. But she reads really thought-provoking stuff. A couple of years ago, she read through the entire Booker long list, and it was an amazing thing to watch her do, and it actually got me interested in reading stuff that's more outside of my comfort zone. And with her poetry, she's now encouraged me to give poetry a go. The only thing she hasn't quite succeeded to do yet is turn me into a Swiftie, despite her best efforts. I'm sorry, Shab, it's just not happening. But now I have K-pop, so it's my turn to turn that onto her. Watching any of Shah's TBR videos or wrap-ups is like going into a store where they've specially curated specific books just for you. And that's kind of what it feels like whenever I watch one of Shah's videos, so please do check her out. Next up, we have your Void, Jonah, and he is very quickly becoming someone I consider one of my absolute best friends in the universe. I can talk to him about pretty much anything. I think I have talked to him about pretty much anything, and he's never fazed. He might sort of look at the screen sometimes like, what is she on? But he's never, I hope he's never judged me for it. But Jonah is Words from the Void and is my co-host for Adventure-a-thon. He was the first person that I brought on for Adventure-a-thon because I kept bouncing ideas off him. Obviously I bounced ideas off Ren as well, but it was Jonah that really started to work with me to help me refine some of those ideas that I had, and has been absolutely crucial for some of certainly what's coming up in the next round. Jonah is absolutely the crucial point of that. He's so good for bouncing ideas off, and German efficiency is a real thing because you say something and that man will document it. He is absolutely hilarious. His videos never fail to make me laugh. He is a whiz at doing like special effects and comedic timing for things. He's also very good at giving himself concussions every video by smacking himself in the face with a book, and which probably explains a lot. And his vlogs are always really well put together. He's just a chaotic gremlin, but in the best kind of way. Apart from the fact that he didn't like Side Changeling series and had some things to say, still not sure I forgive him for that. But despite that, I still love him, still consider him a good friend, and think everybody should follow him. Next up we have Charlotte from ClumsyCharlott. She is another one where we don't talk all the time, but we do talk often enough that I consider her a friend. And I think it's been 4 years now for me and Charlotte. I think she is the person that I've spoken to and have known the longest here. And we've kind of grown together, which has been really lovely. She's very much like me. She tends to read a lot of fantasy. She does read some classics. She's been trying to get through War and Peace for like 2 years, which is... I'm laughing because I could never do that. And I would never do that. So just full respect. All of her videos, she puts so much thought and effort into her videos. She really goes that extra mile to make them visually appealing. She adds little flares, like her end of year award shows. She's always like smartly dressed and puts music to it. She's run a couple of readathons. We had the Olympics-a-thon, we've had the Darker Shades of Magic read-along, and oh my god, the Kingdom Hearts one. There's just been multiple things that she's done. She's always coming up with new and creative ideas. So many of my video ideas have come from her. Like, I'll just post a couple up here of examples where watching that video inspired my own video. And she's just someone who I know I will always feel inspired by when I watch her videos. I don't know if it's every month or every now and again, but she does reset videos where it talks through, like, you know, doing some tidying and cleaning and doing her journaling and setting up for the following month and things like that. And it's just so chill and relaxed. It just always puts me in a really good place. And yeah, all of her videos are the same. So I would definitely say to check her out. Then we have Gemma from Gems, Creeps and Geeks. We've only been talking for about, well, we kind of met, and I'm doing this because it was kind of a loose meet, on Paige's reading sprints from last year when she did her birthday sprints, and we were both on it. but it wasn't until about a month ago that we properly started to chat. I'm now in a WhatsApp group with her and a few others where we just talk K-pop, mostly Stray Kids, but K-pop. And she's just an all-round lovely person. Her videos are, again, the reason why I reached out to her to talk is because we have such similar reading interests. Every time I watch one of her videos, I'm like, hey, these are all the same sort of opinions that I've had with things, or hey, these are all things that I want to read. And she's also huge on manga. Her favourite is Attack on Titan. She's like obsessed with Attack on Titan. But our reading tastes are so similar, and I think she's a great one to watch for things like her lives. She usually brings friends on, which is always fun and chaotic, and I always have a good time watching when she goes lives. She does have amazing manga recommendations, and she also reads quite a lot of sort of like horror and darker books, horror, thriller, darkery type books, which I don't usually read. So if that's your cup of tea, she might be a very good one for you. Up next we have Ashley from Ashley's Media Addiction. She is a Scottish booktuber, but she also focuses quite a lot on K-pop, and she is so lovely. We went to Korea on stage together last year, and I knew immediately that this is someone who I will consider a friend for, if not life, the foreseeable future. And when Ren and I went to Edinburgh, we met up with her, and it was just such a great day. And it's because of her that I've been introduced to Extraordinary Heroes, who are they are now my second alt group with ATs. And she's so lovely. She has the Recreate Book Club, which is a monthly reading group, reading retellings mostly, and then each month there's a theme. So sometimes we get to pick the books, sometimes like the current one is the next month is going to be an adapted book, and then we choose which one we want. She also has a TBR game that she's just created where it's all designed with K-pop, and she picks books based off of different things within K-pop. And she also posts videos with things like learning the choreography of things. And yeah, she's just an all-round really lovely person, and I think you should give her a try if you like any of those kind of things, especially that books and K-pop crossover. And I can't really talk about Ashley without talking about Meredith. I don't know why my brain just combines the two of them all the time. I think because I know that they're friends, and when I met Ashley, she was talking about Meredith, so in my brain the two go together. But next up, we then have Meredith from Reading with Merb. She is another of the Aussie booktubers, and I just adore her so much. She also has created the most epic year-long reading challenge that I've ever seen, which is Bookamon. This is a challenge completely based off Pokemon. There are yearly, seasonally, and monthly challenges. There are mini challenges and bonus challenges and prompts, and it's incredible. The work that went into creating this is just on a level I've never seen before. And her character that she portrays doing this, Professor Merb, is just perfection. Doesn't even come close to how good it is. She also has her own reading game, like TBR game. And she does quite a lot of vlogs as well, and so it's nice sometimes to just stick one of her vlogs on while I'm working, and it's just a nice thing to watch in the background while I'm doing stuff. And yeah, I think you should definitely check her out. Another of the Aussie crew is Paige from PageswithPaige. She's really lovely. We've connected a few times talking about things like mental health and teaching, because both of us have teaching backgrounds that didn't go very well for us, and we've kind of bonded over that mutual trauma. But yeah, last year we had an unsuccessful buddy read. And I say unsuccessful because one of us started to read the book, enjoyed it so much they couldn't stop, and read it pretty much in one go. The other one still hasn't finished the first chapter. I'll let you guess which is which. And that was The Malevolent Seven by Sebastian de Castell. But she is always someone that I know will put a smile on my face. She's always just so enthusiastic about everything she does and puts so much passion behind it. You can tell every time she does something, she loves it, and she would not do it if she genuinely didn't. And then reasons to subscribe to her channel, other than what I've just said. She has a reading little challenge that she sets to herself where she reads books off various shelves in her sort of study library thing. She also, every month, she releases a huge video of all of the readathons that she has found going on. And it's just like a go-to resource if you're someone that's always looking for readathons and monthly challenges for your reading. She is an absolutely essential resource. And yeah, she just always never fails to put a smile on my face. And the fact that she just loves everything she does, it makes me happy. We then have Mel from A Book Fiend Named Mel. Mel is absolutely a wonderful human being. She's so lovely. She's so... every time I watch her videos, I just get this sense of calmness and gentleness wash over me, and I love it. She also does various vlogs. Last year she did a Heartstopper vlog where she read the books and then watched the show. She also has her own TBR, which is called The Roll of Reads, and in March we will be doing the Roll of Reads readathon because it is her birthday month. And so it's a 20 square thing. You roll a dice to work out how grid, you work out, you lay down all of your prompts face down, you roll a dice to pick out how many you're going to get, and then you play the game. And stupidly, I decided to roll my D20 to find out how many rolls I'm going to be doing next, how many books I'm reading next month, and it was double digits, and I'm not going to say much more. You need to watch my TBR when it comes out. She is really, really lovely, and again, we kind of have similar reading tastes. She reads quite a lot of fantasy, and she's encouraged me to try different fantasies as well. So definitely check her out. And then finally for this section is going to be Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading. Again, this is a new friend, like a new budding, blooming friendship for me, and yet one that already I really love and cherish. Brittany is a Canadian booktuber who, again, was one on Pages Live from last year. And I didn't really connect with her for a while and talk to her for a while, but then I started to tune into her live videos, and the more that I was watching them, the more I was like, I feel like we would have a really similar vibe and we would get on. And then she invited me to join her on a live not so long back, and I just realised how lovely she really is, and I'm just like, I adore her. And with Brittany, she does regular live sprints, and it's pretty much the same sort of sprints every week. So it's really lovely that I know that no matter what, I've got set days that I can go on and be like watch the live, be productive, do my reading. And so she really helps with that. She's also one that releases quite a lot of vlogs, and she does sort of like weekly themed challenges and stuff. And she's one that inspired me to do, when I do my weekly reading vlog, she's one of the people that has inspired me to try something different by picking out an actual theme some weeks and stick to that idea. Her content in general is always so good. Her reading is quite a lot of romance. So if you enjoy sort of romance vlogs and lives, I would say go with Brittany. And then on to the final section, which is people that I love, maybe I'm acquainted with, and we have maybe like the teeniest hint of a friendship possibly building, or it's people that have no idea that I exist, will never have any idea that I exist, and probably won't even see that I've recommended them on this video, but I love you anyway, and if you do happen to see this, I love your content, and it's so cool. But first up, we have Krystal from Bon Book Reviews. She is another Aussie booktuber who I just love watching her videos. We have very, very different reading tastes. She tends to read sort of more like romance, and historical fiction and literary fiction, but I know Krystal also reads a bit of thriller and horror, and she also reads a lot more sort of the romance that I don't read. I tend to keep my romances on the sweeter side. Hers tend to be more on the spicier side. But the main thing that I watch her for is her pick pong. So this is based off of beer pong, only the cups have prompts. And this year she's rearranged them so that they fit the Bookemon themes. And she just again, her videos just always give me that calming vibe, and I've always enjoyed watching her content, but especially her pick pong videos. And then every year she does the pick pong readathon for a month where she gets everyone to join in with pick pong because it's her birthday month. Then we have Sasha from sashreads. She just is really bubbly and enthusiastic, and that's the main reason why I love watching her videos. She also has introduced me to quite a lot of new romance authors because in my brain, she is the romance queen. I can just go to her and be like, hey, I need a romance with this, and she'll go boom, 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 boom. But she also very much reads a lot more of the darker, smuttier romances that I've only just started to dip my toe in. And it's because of her that I've now started to attempt to read things like monster smut, and have started to reach out a little bit more with my reading. And it's because of how enthusiastic she is about it that it's made me curious and want to try more. So I definitely would say follow her if you are a romance reader and are looking for more recommendations, but also if you just want someone that's just, again, really passionate about what they do and loves doing what they do, watch her. Then we have a couple of very quick mentions who are people that I've just followed for years, pretty much since the day I started BookTube. One of these actually inspired me to start BookTube, and they're pretty much staples on my channel and I recommend them a lot. First is G from BookRoast. I love BookRoast. She is incredible, and she is the reason I started BookTube. Watching her videos made me go, this is what I want to be doing. Some of the very first videos I ever posted were her magical readathons from like 2019, and she's just started inspiring me back then and hasn't stopped. She inspired my heroic TBR with her TB avatar, which is based off of Avatar. She has just constantly upped her game. We now have the magical readathon, but her version, which is Aurelium, and she's created her own world for it. It's just so good, and her creativity knows no bounds, so definitely check her out. Then we have Jade from Jadeyraereads. It's because of her that I am now obsessed with these glorious bastards. And why I'm now obsessed with Sebastian de Castell as a person and writer. She's had him on her channel doing lives a couple of times and doing interviews, and it's always been so fascinating to watch. But also with Jade, I love her vlogs. And again, even though we have slightly different reading tastes, when she does recommend sort of adult fantasies, I found that our opinions on things tend to be the same or very, very similar. I can't think off the top of my head if there's any books that we've both read that I've had a completely different opinion of. And so I always know that with her I can get solid recommendations. But yeah, she's just so bubbly, so lovely, and it is a pure joy watching her every time she posts. Then we have Olivia from OliviasCatastrophe. She is another one that I have watched for a while now, and she, I know, loves The Raven Cycle, which is a series that, thanks to Ren, I'm now starting to fall in love with as well. And I've noticed over the years that, again, we have quite similar reading tastes. She's one of the co-hosts of the Gothtober Readathon, and honestly, I have so much fun every year because I try to read stuff that has a slightly more horror theme, even though I don't like reading that kind of stuff very much. But every year they've had a theme. So last year it was a creature feature, so you had to build your own monster type thing, and then it gave you all the different prompts there. And it's always so fun, and I just, again, really enjoy watching her videos, and I have had so many recommendations through watching her videos. And like I said, I now have a mutual love for the Raven Boys, and I know she's one that made me inspired to want to try it. So yeah, she's just another person who constantly gives me inspiration and ideas, and I just, yeah, go check her out. And then the final one for this is Hailey from HaileyinBookland. She is another one that I've watched right from day one. She is the one that created Bookmas, which I do every year to varying successes. And so she's been a huge inspiration for me on my channel, specifically towards the end of the year. But also she recently got diagnosed with ADHD, and she has been posting videos lately where she's talking about, now that she's been diagnosed and it's been a little while, how she's adapting to it and how she's adapting her routines. But again, she's one that I just really love. I tend to watch her more for her lifestyle vlogs these days, and her content about her life, and rather than the books. But that's because, again, our reading is quite different, and I've noticed, I think in 5 years, we've probably read about 12 books that are the same as each other. But I do tend to get really good recommendations specifically for romance. And I have picked up a few books based off of her recommendations. I think it was the Brown sisters. Yes, Get a Life Chloe Brown I read because of her. And that's now one of my favourite series that I've ever read. So she always inspires me to try new things, and definitely, like I said, with Bookmas, she's the one that gave me that inspiration. And I do love watching her videos, and I just love watching her stuff. And then finally, I'm going to go on to the art/journaling, and I'm kickstarting this with JulianneDoodles. I've talked about her a lot. You know I love her content. She's just so bubbly, so fun. All of her stuff is really well done. That's a poem. And I watch her for not only her journal content, but also for her art content. And it's been wonderful watching her go from someone who was, a few years ago, she was really struggling with her work and her mental health and trying to balance that with her journals and art, to now she is a self-employed artist. She's absolutely flourishing and is just doing so amazing and coming to her own. And it's wonderful to follow that journey and to see how she keeps growing. And then recently, Ren and I put an order in through her shop, and everything is just so wonderful. And it made up my February. I think both of my February journals were based on the themes of the things that she sent. And she's just, every time I watch her videos, I'm like, where are my pens? Where's my sketchbook? I want to get drawing. So she definitely helps to inspire me with that. Then we have JournalAway. If you want the most gorgeous aesthetics in bullet journals and art, you want to watch her content. Her journals are just a masterpiece. Like, they shouldn't even be used as journals. They should just be art books, because wow. I know I can never replicate her work, but I love drawing inspiration from her stuff and maybe using colour schemes or a theme idea and interpreting it in my own way. I love her paintings. When she shows her, a couple of years ago, she did some gouache paintings and they were just so pretty and got me to try gouache for the first time and realised very quickly how much I love it. And it's now one of my favourite mediums to paint with. And yeah, she just always inspires me, so definitely check that out. Another one that I've followed for a little while now, she kind of had a bit of a hiatus but has come back recently, and her videos I love them, is minniesmall. I adore everything about her videos. She's so lovely. Her videos have that really calm, tranquil vibe to them. The way she films has definitely been inspiring how I approach filming vlogs lately, and has been really encouraging me to try new things and maybe film things a bit differently. But she also, when I first came across her channel, it was because I thought about doing a video where it was like a day in the life of, and copying different people and what they were doing. I very quickly decided that with my ADHD that wasn't happening. But I watched her day in the life video where she was talking about her morning routine, and I was like, hey, some of these ideas are actually really good. And I did try a few out, and they have been working for me quite well. And every time I watch her videos, I'm just inspired. I love her art. Certainly, she's got a thing that she was doing with recreating houses from nostalgic cartoons like Ed, Ed and Eddie, and was it the Powerpuff Girls? I know she did the Proud Family, I remember that one. And basically recreating those houses and painting them in her style. And I just absolutely loved that. And she predominantly, from what I've seen, works with watercolours as well, and that's why I was really drawn to her. And yeah, I love her aesthetic and I love her. And then the final person on this list is FranMeneses, which is another person I think I've mentioned a fair bit on this channel. Her vlogs in particular are just chef's kiss perfection for me. The way she blends talking to the camera with shots of her just doing things, and the way she overlays music with the sound of the things that she's doing. I just find her vlogs a masterclass in how to vlog. Her and Minnie, between them, are what inspired me in my latest vlog that I posted this week to do a completely talk-free vlog and see what would happen. But Fran also has helped me to do a little bit more with my art in terms of actual learning. She recently did a course on Coursera doing modern contemporary art and studying modern art, and I decided to join that course, and I ended up learning so much and finding artists I'd never heard of, because I'm not really an art theory studier, and it was the first time that I ever actually studied art, and I loved it. And she's really inspired me to take my learning journey to a new level. And everything about her vibe just screams, this is a person that I want to be when I grow up. And I really love her. I think I've said the word I love them so much in this vlog, but I don't care. I love her, and you should all follow for her content. And that is it. We've reached the end. This is going to be a huge video. I hope you've watched all of it. I hope you've stuck with it, because there are so many amazing creators here that I wanted to share my love for, and it's Valentine's Day and I want to share some love. If you have any of your own that you want to share the love for, if you have any of your own content creators that you follow that you would also love to share the love for, feel free to comment below their usernames and I will check those out, and hopefully encourage everyone that's watching to go check those out. If you enjoyed that video, don't forget to like and subscribe for future content. And in the meantime, I hope you're all good, I hope you're staying safe, and until next time, bye!